No one knew what the noise was. A crack in the air, a heartbeat skipping, a stadium holding its breath, but when people turned toward the mound, they realized it wasn't the bat, it wasn't the crowd, it wasn't even the ball. It was Shohei Ohtani, moving in a way no one had ever seen a pitcher move. Some said it felt like a glitch in reality. Others said it felt like time slowed down for him and only him. But the truth was simpler: Ohtani wasn't reacting, he was predicting. And that was just the beginning of the chaos he was about to unleash in 2021. On that year's sun-soaked diamonds, he didn't just pitch, or hit, or run. He hunted baseballs like they were destined to be his, whether they were screaming back at his chest or slicing through the outfield sky. Every inning felt like a dare, and every dare he answered with something even more impossible. There was the liner. The liner. The one no pitcher should survive, let alone catch. Off the bat it looked like a laser, a streak of white fire heading straight toward him. People gasped. Coaches froze. Cameras flinched. But Ohtani, he didn't even blink. His glove snapped shut with a sound that cut through the stadium like a door slamming on fate itself. And for a moment, even the hitter couldn't believe it. He stood there, bat hanging uselessly in his hands, wondering how a man could do that without superhuman instincts. The crowd erupted, but Ohtani just smiled, tossed the ball back like it was routine, like he hadn't just stolen an out from the jaws of physics. Then came the play at first. A bunt rolling into enemy territory, feet thundering down the line. Most pitchers lunge. Ohtani launched. He flew off the mound, scooping the ball with one smooth motion and firing it across his body with the cold confidence of someone who knew he had all the angles. He wasn't throwing from instinct, he was throwing from certainty. The stadium murmured. Even his teammates exchanged looks as if asking each other the same silent question: what is he? But the real mystery happened when he stepped into the outfield. And no, this wasn't a trick of memory. He actually did it. The pitcher, the slugger, the freak of nature, drifting into left and right field like he'd been born there. The first ball hit toward him looked routine until the wind betrayed it, pushing it away sharply. Most players would panic. Ohtani didn't. He glided, accelerating so effortlessly that it looked like he was being pulled by invisible threads. And at the last second, he reached out and snatched the ball with a calmness that felt almost unreal. Fans whispered. Analysts shook their heads. Even the opposing dugout stared, unsure whether they had just witnessed pure athleticism or something more supernatural. Another play followed, this one sharper, faster, uglier. A slicing drive toward the corner. Ohtani took off again, legs chewing the turf, gloves stretching past his shoulder. He caught it while still running full speed, his momentum never breaking, as though he were chasing the horizon, and simply grabbed the ball on his way there. And through all of this, he kept pitching. Kept hitting. Kept smashing baseballs into upper decks and tearing down batters with sliders that disappeared like vanishing smoke. But these defensive moments, these were different. These were the moments that made people look twice at the highlights, pause the video, rewind, and whisper, wait. Did he actually do that? Every inning carried a new riddle. A new moment where the ordinary rules of baseball bent slightly around him. It was as if the game trusted him more than it trusted anyone else, handing him challenges no normal player could solve. There was the bunt where he didn't just field it, he attacked it. Sprinting at full speed, scooping it barehanded, and firing across his body before the runner even realized the ball was gone. There was the pop fly where he drifted from the mound toward foul territory, chasing a ball no pitcher ever dreams of hunting down, and still somehow arriving under it like he had drawn the path himself with invisible chalk. There was the screaming one-hopper that should have clattered into the outfield, but Ohtani stabbed it mid-bounce, twisted, and fired to first with a grace that made the crowd gasp in synchronized disbelief. And the strangest part wasn't the plays themselves. It was his expression afterward. No drama, no celebration, just the quiet look of a man who expected to make the impossible possible because he had done it 100 times in his mind before it even happened. But the true cinematic moment came late in the season. Runners on. Tension thick. A ball scorched back at him harder than any before. People flinched away from the screen. But Ohtani's glove flashed, faster than the camera could process, swallowing the ball whole. He stood still afterward, breathing slow, steady, in complete control of a moment that should have broken him. Some said he didn't catch the ball. They said the ball chose him. He tossed it casually to first base, finishing the double play with a calmness that felt unfair. Fans rose to their feet. Even the announcers lost themselves in their voices, unable to contain the wonder. And somewhere in that noise, between the roars, the gasps, the stunned silence, you could feel a shift happening. Not in the game, but in the belief of every person watching. Because they weren't witnessing a highlight reel. They were witnessing a player expanding the definition of what one human being could do on a baseball field. By the end of 2021, one truth had become undeniable: Shohei Ohtani wasn't just pitching. He wasn't just hitting. He wasn't just fielding. He was rewriting the sport in real time, inventing new possibilities with every play, every step, every impossible catch that should never have been his. And when the lights dimmed, when the crowd filtered out, when the magic settled over the field like a quiet fog, one question remained, whispered by fans across the world. If this is what he can do on defense, what else has he been hiding? Because with Shohei Ohtani, the greatest mystery isn't what he's done. It's what he hasn't shown us yet.